want to talk about glue books. This is a glue book that I just finished this week. I got entirely inspired by Gina Ahrens and Cindy Sines-Utter. I'll put links to their channels in the description box below. But they've been doing glue books, and I've been watching those videos and I go, wow, I want to do one of those. Now, a glue book can be anything that you have around. It can be an old calendar or an old magazine. It can be anything. I made my glue book out of some old stationery paper, some note cards, an envelope. This is an envelope from a subscription envelope. It has the window address area with the transparent area, and I have a note card showing through. I put a little elastic band there as a closure, some trim on the cover. When I created the glue book, I just did the basic pamphlet stitch here. And my pages on the edges, when I first created the glue book, were all even. But as I collaged in there, you can see my pages, especially the inside ones, expanded outward. And I believe that was because I put some reinforcing paper strips here underneath to hold these pages together at the seams, just to strengthen it more. So I didn't really like that expansion outward. I wasn't planning for that. So I compensated for it by adding this envelope flap. And this was created out of a magazine cover, which is a fairly strong cover, but I folded it in half and glued the two halves together, and then glued that to my front cover, and it bends over and it acts as a nice closure here on the side border. I really do like that. I like that solution. I might do more of that whether I have the page expanding or not. So I just want to do a quick flip through. I want to talk about the images here. The images in this entire little glue book are not my art. I want to make that clear. These are images that I clipped from various magazines. I used Country Living magazine, I used A Woman's World magazine, Art and Architecture, Romantic Homes, Capper's Farmer, various magazines that have images that attract me. And I made this glue book in a theme that was more of a garden, floral, Victorianish theme. And that theme runs through this entire book. So these images are not my images. This is not my art. These are images that you get out of magazines that people are going to throw away anyway. What makes this art, and what I will say to people who do not paint and draw, what makes this art is how you gather these images and put them together on a page to express yourself or to express what you want to say in the book. That makes it art. Also, as a study in putting these pages together, you get little lessons in composition. Look how this entire teacup and plate almost takes up this entire center page and flows over onto the two side pages. What did I want to put here? These are some little postcards, but you could have just as easily put some round images there. There's text here. There's this rectangular image. So there's a little bit about page layout and composition that you get some inherent lessons on just doing your glue book. And then it's fun. It's fun to harvest these images out of old magazines and put them together and glue them in. Now I used Mod Podge. Gina and Cindy, I believe, used glue sticks, but I didn't have any glue sticks. This is a wet glue, but I do find that it dries nice. I do not find these pages sticking together, and I really do appreciate that. Now, if you're using the glossy or even the matte, I think that you'll have a problem with pages sticking together. But I appreciate this paper Mod Podge. I like it a lot. The papers will appear a little wrinkly as you put them down, but the paper Mod Podge is sewed as a glue that eliminates most of the wrinkling. And when it's wet, it'll appear a little wrinkly, but as you press those pages out, they dry pretty nice. There's some in here, but that's probably more my fault than the glue's fault. I want to do a quick flip through of this. I want to talk about the quotes. Look at this one. This is perfect for the beginning of the page. I can't stop until everything is in the right place. That just says it all for this book. I had to keep working till I had everything just like I wanted it on every page. This quote came from an advertisement, because you're never too old for fairy tales. So when you're looking at magazines, notice these things. Sometimes they're kind of hidden, and once you start searching for them, you go, oh, I can use that in my glue book, or I can use that in my art journal. Here I just trimmed out the word living, and it fits right in with the theme of this page. So I'm going to do a quick flip through. These were silhouettes, but I like, this is a Tim Holtz sticker from one of his word packs. It says, it is always the small pieces that make the big picture. And here I have these small silhouettes coming down. Some sconces, candle sconces, big clock, and another silhouette here. In the background are some roses. And I will say, too, that when you're putting your background images down, sometimes you can pull a picture that just has a curtain of a bedroom or a living room and snip that curtain out, and it makes a nice background images, especially on these smaller pages. If you see some floral images, it might be on a plate or a bowl. Either trim them out, you can turn the bowl upside down, you don't even have to show the bowl portion, and you get these pretty floral images in the background. Isn't this pretty? This came from the Capper's Farmer magazine, a bee, and the background, dark background images came from another magazine. I'm not sure which one it was, but the two fit together because it's talking about gardens. The quote says, if you look the right way, you can see that the whole world is a garden. And a bird and some postage stamps and a little figurine. I like this quote. It says, he said, one life on this earth is about all we get, whether it is enough or not enough. And the obvious conclusion would seem to be, at the very least, we are fools if we do not live it as fully and bravely and as beautifully as we can. Doesn't that just fit on this page? Here's a chandelier, came from some other magazine. Tapestry came from the Art and Architecture magazine. The chair, the floral chair, and this little element here came from the Romantic Homes magazine. But I will say this little stand with the lamp was not with this chair. I pulled it from another element and put it there. Here's another one of these little, I call them art cards. I really do like these. This was an old cupboard. It had a water picture hanging on it. Put that in the background. I trimmed out a bicycle. I believe this was out of Country Living magazine, and this was out of Romantic Homes. Here's some garden statuary. It came from an advertisement. Tim Holtz sticker. It says, always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. And this really fits that whole theme of doing a glue book. You're on the lookout for images that appeal to you that you can put together in a cohesive page in your glue book. This was a dinner plate in the background with this rose, this red dinner plate. This is a tire swing, and I cut out the center of that tire swing and let the dinner plate and some advertisements show through. That's very much a well-known collage technique, but it really worked on this page. Here's another one of those little art cards. I had to use these. Stained glass window. Very transparent. It's not colored glass, but it's that ironwork in there. Just the black and white just appeals to me. Here's a strip of an advertisement with Victorian embellishments. This little art card just fits the black and white on this page. Really do like it. Some statuary from the Art and Architecture magazine. A little art card. This was a note card. You can still see the vase of flowers and the quilt in the background. And then I just added this floral embellishment and a little vase of flowers that I fussy cut out. This is one of my favorite pages. I like these pages that have these big bicycles. Summer Escape. These sunflowers, it looks like that bicycle just fits in with those sunflowers, but those sunflowers were taken from an entire different page, and I planted them there. Little bird feeder, teacup bird feeder with a little bird and another art card. This quote came from a pharmaceutical advertisement, and it said, "We all had the power to heal." Well, I trimmed off the heel, and "We all had the power," and there's this little decorative ceramic angel. And to me, this page says, "We all had the power to pray." Some affirmations that I cut out of the Woman's World magazine. Little puppy dog. Here's a page of text that came out of an advertisement. And it doesn't matter to me what this text says, but what I like about it is the graphic appeal and the shape of the letters. They really pop on this page. In the bottom area here is a headboard of a bed in a bedroom display picture in one of the magazines. But it fits on this page, and it fits with this advertisement. Here is a mannequin and some statuary from the Art and Architecture magazine, some flowers, just pulls it all together. This flower is my art. I think this is probably about the only piece of art that I created on this page. This was done on a composition page, and it's just a flower that's outlined with my fine line paint applicator. But I like it. It just fits. The dress form over here. And you don't even need the same size of pages. These pages are all different sizes, and I like that. This page is up a little bit higher. The sunflower in the center says, "Well, well, well, be awesome today." Some statuary that I trimmed out and put with this big sunflower. I even put that little statuette in the center of the sunflower. This was the very first page that I did. And I will say, I haven't done glue books for a long, long, long time. Probably maybe in grade school I did one with cows. So this was the first one I did, and it's very geometric. And I have to say, I didn't like it when I first did it. But it's growing on me, and I like it more and more. And I've learned, since I did this page, you can see I've gone more organic in the way that I put the images on the paper. So don't be afraid to try something, get started, and then flip to the next page and do something else. History relived. There's some books here. This kind of garden display area, teacups, coffee cup. This came from the Art and Architecture magazine. It's a Renaissance oil painting, but what I liked was this quote that I found. People thought I was crazy. Good stuff. Here in the border it says secrets. And then in the border over here in the background, I have the, just peeking out here in the border is a portion of a quilt. Somebody thinks you're a superhero. Here's a dress form, an embossed metal hand mirror, a bird cage. Just images that appealed to me when I was doing this page. Ceramic cow. This little geometric piece here is off of a picture of barn quilts. Farmers in the Midwest will sometimes paint these wooden barn quilts in the corner areas, the upper corner of their barns. You can do tours around the states, especially here in Nebraska and Iowa, southwest Wisconsin, and see these barn quilts. Probably in Ohio and Pennsylvania too, but I haven't gone that far east to see if there were any there. This was pulled from an advertisement for an auction, a flea market auction. Here's some balls of yarn and mermaids. For somehow, I just thought this made a very aquatic page. I felt like they fit together. You see a little fish floating here, a little sea lion, the mermaid. Tapestry in the background. Here's a statuette. Here's another one of my, I have to say, I think this is one of my favorite pages too. These bicycles have just been really appealing to me with a basket of flowers. This was off of one of those little art cards, a little mouse enjoying a mushroom lunch. Garden statuary. Another little art card over here. I really like this page. And the last page is one of my favorites too. This came off of a Geico advertisement, Insurance Geico. The choice is yours, and it's simple. A little art card and some mason jars with peonies in there. The whole book and all the pages are framed with black magic marker. I feel like that ties the entire book together. I had a lot of fun doing these. Just a lot of fun doing this glue book. So you don't have to paint or draw to be an artist, or even just to have fun with art. Now I think I've shown this before. This was the first glue book that I made, but I haven't done much in it. It's what I'm going to work on next. So these are the glue books that I've been inspired to do. Thank you, Gina, and thank you, Cindy. You got me started doing this. Now I can't quit. I will see you on the next page.